I don't have an intro, I just wanted to wear this.
I didn't realize it until literally a day or two ago, but a lot of my internet habits have changed dramatically since I started doing this. For starters, I no longer use the skip ad button, because I know full well that watching those ads directly supports the people behind the content I enjoy. Besides, considering how many times I've asked you guys to spend 15 seconds sending me revenue, I know I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't return the favor. Then I decided to take things a bit further, and started voting on every single video I watched. Not only does that extra input help the creator know what's working and what isn't, but it also sat me down mentally and made me face that maybe I just don't like some of these people as much as I think I do, or should probably make more time to watch them more often. And you know who else is realizing that? My front page on YouTube. Thanks to me actually using the systems the site had provided me all along, I started seeing more content that I'm legitimately interested in watching, some of which being from channels I've never even heard of before, so overall, this is a win for everybody. Steam was another platform I've become more involved in lately, and interestingly enough, it started out of spite. I never even touched my green light queues on the service until about a month ago, when a game called Infection popped up on the service. We talked about this game in passing in my No Excuses episode, and normally something like this wouldn't bother me. It's an unremarkable, underproduced zombie game, and that's that. But then the developer behind it made things personal when he started flipping out digital homicide style at anyone and everyone who had something negative to say about it. He deleted negative comments, banned honest and non-malicious users, and even went as far as to make active threats against critics and other developers for not being on his side. Yet despite all of that, somehow the game made it to the top 40 on the service at one point. Something snapped inside me when I saw that. I started a berserker charge through Greenlight, voting for anything and everything that I would actually pay for in a desperate attempt to bury this game, or at least slow its ascent through the games that actually deserved its spot. I couldn't let this man get what he wanted, not after the way he treated people. And then, silence. We haven't gotten a status update from Andrew Watt96 in almost a month, and considering the game was posted a little over a week before he allegedly hit the 40 mark, it seems Infection's 15 minutes of infamy have long since passed. But I hold no delusions of grandeur that another Andrew isn't going to show up in the future, which is why I still go through at least one Greenlight queue every day, and my Discovery queue now as well. Because, perhaps unsurprisingly, the more I used the feature, the more it started working as intended for me, recommending me to cool little projects that were right up my alley, yet I never would have found otherwise, like Brooding and Foxtail, the latter of which is currently on Kickstarter, by the way, and you should totally check it out, #shameless promotion. Now, you're probably laughing at me at this point, saying, well, duh, of course you're going to get better results if you leave feedback on everything. But if it's so obvious, why don't more people do it? I've lost track of how many times I've actively encouraged people to criticize my work in this series, because I'll admit straight up, I'm at the point where every single little shift in my numbers means something to me. My heart starts racing when I see that this week's rant is closing in on the last one in likes or views. Every comment, positive or negative, is a reason for pause and reflection, so I can try to understand where that opinion is coming from and how I can use it to make what I build better. So by all means, please, let me know what you think. And it's not just me that appreciates a little input either. I've left comments on several Greenlight projects voicing thoughts on what I'm seeing, and a good majority of those devs have responded back. Thankfully, they've all been rather polite so far, but really, why not be? I know I'd be thankful for a nudge in what direction to take development next. I'm way too close to the project to see it myself. I'm just glad most of these guys feel the same way, and that jokers like Andrew are very rare and very frowned upon exceptions. But they and I entertain much smaller and more intimate audiences. They're not exactly Nintendo, and I'm not exactly Markiplier. But if we were, would your voice just get lost among the thousands of others trying to reach us? Well, no, actually. In fact, I'd argue that's when voicing how you feel is even more important than ever. Because in a space with this many minds, you can do something more powerful than any single comment could hope to achieve. get a reply. Starting a discussion on a topic or opinion can be enormously beneficial for the creator and the community that follows them, because even if they don't necessarily agree with you, it gets everyone involved at least thinking about your concern. If even for a moment, it makes them consider what they're experiencing from another perspective, one they might never have pondered if left to their own devices. And if your sentiment does start to spread, it means that everyone who picks it up was probably thinking it anyway, but never knew how to put it into words. Their new attitude leads them to taking action on what they believe, and in turn, if the creator has any lick of sense, they'll address that shift in tastes as quickly as possible. Warner Brothers got obliterated by people unhappy with the PC port of Arkham Knight, and in a world where Steam refunds are now a thing, there was absolutely no way they could treat this like they did the Origins debacle. And people are still bitter with the company, mind you, quite rightfully so in my opinion, but at least WB took responsibility for their mistake and are working round the clock to try and fix it, which is going to garner them some goodwill again. Konami, on the other hand, has not been so fortunate. Their continued pig-headed attitude and open contempt towards both the medium and the people that make it special has lost them every bit of goodwill not offered to them by the mentally insane. I don't know a single person who's willing to give Konami money in any capacity anymore, and frankly, I can't blame them for feeling that way, because instead of addressing these concerns, the company is content to insult fans further by continuing beloved franchises in the form of pachinko machines that literally nobody asked for. That's when you realize that they deserve whatever's coming to them, because despite what anybody might try to tell you, as the customer, your opinion is important. It's one of the most important aspects of what drives artists to become better at their craft, and anyone who tries to fight that is only destined for one fate. So go tell people how you feel. Go get people talking. Go challenge yourself to put your thoughts to words. Because especially in a creative medium like video games, it influences the world around you so much more than you think it does.
Ah, but you have yet to see my greatest trick. For underneath the hat is another hat. Huh? Thank you.